Hello, everyone. Welcome to another Artcast. Chorecast, actually, because I'm going to be doing some stuff. I'm going to be working outside in the front, picking some weeds, because we had an oddly little rainy season this year. Okay. No, doggos, don't. Okay. Well, I'm going to try something else, too. If I loop your belts around me, will you stay with me? Oh, you drag me all over the place. No, I'm not gonna dignify with an answer. Anyway, this commission is about Sonia, and she's being hypnotized because why not? Not putting it down. It was just an interesting commission. And I don't think I've drawn. Have I drawn Sonia? Maybe. I think a long time ago I drew Sonia once. Let me bring up your guys' stuff. Oh, good. They're talking about the RAM scam. I am literally just outside the door. You telling me I can't get internet? Okay, they're not going to let me work. That's what I get for waking up on a Monday and... Is it Monday? Yeah, Monday. And trying to do something new. Nothing. I'm trying to pick weeds.
Oh, thank you.
So let me... Yeah, I got the thing. Yeah, no, I'll do it by hand, and I'm going to get the dogs and wrap them around me.
Oh, you're kidding.
Yeah, let's see what happens.
Oh, my God. Yeah, yes. Yes. Yeah.
Here. Sit. Stop. Stop. Okay, here. I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to loop your belts. You're going to clip your head through. Okay. Hold on. No, don't go. There. Hold on. Sorry about this, guys. Now. Okay. Okay. This is probably super dumb. I am looping one dog's belt around my belt. Oh, okay, no, that worked out great. Okay, here. I'm picking weeds, so you guys are just gonna... Stop. Stop. Hold on. Oh. Okay, hold on. Okay, now come on. We're going outside and I'm gonna pick weeds. Okay, stop. Okay, boys, stop. Stop. Okay, stop. Okay, now they're both... Go around this way. Thank you. There. No. Yeah, okay, cool. They're so dumb. My brother picked the two biggest, dumbest dogs he could find. There. Now stay. I'm going to pick weeds. That's what we're doing today. Oh. Me and my bright ideas. I just wanted to. I don't know. Mom got so sad today. She was like, "Oh no, the weeds are just a little bit of a more of a just a shitty thing on top of shittier things, you know?" But this is good. Maybe you guys will be cool, and maybe you'll stick your face in a cactus, you idiot. Booker, come here. Let me see your face. You live in California. There's no reason. Just enjoy the sunshine, guys. Oh, now I got to bring you guys up. Hold on. So many people are asking for commissions. I should set aside, and I thought about this last night, and I don't know who it was. I think it was Kevlar, or was it someone says, well, what if you had all the money in the world, what would you do? And I said I would like commission other artists. Like, I wouldn't like go and like, is Struzan dead? That's the first name that popped in my head. But I wouldn't like commission him. I would commission like 1,000 smaller artists, so they could like have steady paychecks. You've got to be shitting me. Okay. Screw it. I'm just going to use some data. But anyway, I started thinking about that. Maybe I could set some aside and then use it kind of as advertising. Be like, okay, instead of buying like a place for like, or a spot that people are going to ignore, that was a cactus. That was a little cactus. It threw off one of its little bulbs. I have a, I don't know what varietal you have out here, but I've had it for like years and years and years. It's actually too big for its own pot now. I should break it up and move it into other things. I love it. It has the most beautiful flowers when it does bloom every once in a while. Every once in a while, it throws out a pod, and that just sticks like all hell. Stay. I'm trying to move over to the bucket, but they're dragging me everywhere. Okay, hold on. Again, let's just see if this works. I may be too far away from the communique. Hey, Shadow, are you that dumb? Walk around the other way. There. He might be that dumb. Hello, testing. Okay, good. Okay. Yeah, I don't know what happened. I think either what had happened is I got too far away, or the receiver died. The receiver also needs to be charged. Not as much as the microphones, but I guess every once in a while. I thought I had them on. Also, I tried to stick in the Yeti, and for some reason, Windows wouldn't recognize it. Hope that's nothing wrong with the connection or something. We'll see. Oh. Anyway, weeds in the front are done. And the dogs have been taken out. So they've got their they went out a little bit today. We'll have to get you guys walking. We don't know what's going to happen. Either they'll stay with us. Things are up in the air, but they're going to stay with us until at least Christmas and maybe the end of January. Isn't that right, buddy boy? Shadow, did you have a good time? Did you enjoy walking around? We'll have to take you up to the park if you behave yourself. Not bark at people and run at them. Okay. Yeah. I didn't really, as you can see, I really didn't make a sketch of this because, and sometimes I don't do that. Sometimes I just kind of run into it because I can like draw on model for most situations. And if I need to change some aspects of the sketch or thing, it's all vector, so I can move it around after the fact, which is very nice. No erasing or going through or anything like that. What's Snoopingus? Oh, well. Oh, snooping. Snooping around as usual. Yeah. They couldn't, Jim Cummings was, I think, only available for, I think it's literally in his contract. That's why they had Saturday morning. That's why he was the voice of Saturday morning. And he hasn't been in any other sort of geek thing that was syndicated, pre-syndicated, okay? Is what we call it. Oh. And then so you got a lot of people from Canada filling in for that, including the great John Bardley. Oh yeah, I did not know that was Silas, but you could totally hear it. Again, I think we had this conversation before. What was I drawing before? Where we had this conversation where like I was like Sonic X is not, I'm not a big fan of, and Sonic Prime might actually be the most coherent told story out of all of them. I mean, Adventures was always supposed to be slapstick comedy that ended on a pretty good high note with the Chaos Emerald sort of special. But like in terms of like going the long run distance of telling an actual coherent story, I think Prime does that good. That AM like ended prematurely, spawned the comics, which was great, but yeah, I think it went up against. What did it go up against? Power Rangers, so it was kind of like, oh boy. Really? Because now Cookie Jar or whatever just has whole episodes of Sonic Underground. That's where you can find it. Almost behind my Switch stuff too. I haven't finished Mario Sunshine or that Girl Genius game. Ooh, I gotta check out that Girl Genius game. And yeah, they probably have Mario Sunshine on the Switch that you buy through the thing. Have I played Sunshine? I don't think I have. I can either buy it or I can emulate it. Which I'm kind of leaning towards emulation, because why the hell not? Wild Brain now in Zodiac Sonic shows. Really? Hey, Spot. Was it Cookie Jar or was it? Yeah, I'm glad. Yeah. And the dogs did good out there. Just kind of roaming around a little bit. Did them good. They get acclimated. Like you said, if we can just slowly acclimate them to walking around, I'm pretty sure I could take them around. Also, with them around my belt buckle, they don't pull around in one spot, and it lowers them to my middle of my gravity, or lower. I don't know. Oh, it was Cookie Jar, now it's Wild Brain. Okay, because they keep on shuffling everything around. Yes, I heard it about during the stream last night. Which is why I got really sort of quiet, but I also didn't want to break the news. Or during Princess Melanie's stream when I was running her 2s and 3s. Hello, May. Where's my email on this computer? Do I just not have it on my shortcuts? Yeah, it was not great. Were the Archie Sonics any good? Never read them. Oh, I read that was like the only reason why I went to like a comic book store, really. I mean, I used to like pick other stuff up on the side, anything that was interesting to me. And I probably held on to like, now looking back, there's a few artists that like I would have they were still like tethered to like different good stories. Then what's his face? Ken lost his mind. He was like a decent writer, but just, and he supposedly created a bunch of the characters, which, you know what, they were just kind of like placeholder characters. I know other artists or other writers did way better things with them, but then when he still closed it all down, or like and it was so weird. I forgot what happened. He had such a bad case, but sometimes you just like get flukes, like muskmelon, like the guy Muskmelon like calling like the guy who was like in charge of saving the kids no the underground. They were trapped in an underground water mine, and Musk was like, oh, son, send a submarine. And it's like, you're an idiot. You can't even build a spaceship. You can't even do things that were like done in like the 1950s. And then he took Musk to court, but apparently he had just a real shit lawyer, which apparently is the same thing that happened between Archie and Ken, because they all of a sudden lost a bunch of their characters, which was funny. At the tail end of the actual Sonic, at the actual Archie run, they were making they turned the skunk guy, St. George or whatever, into a total piece of shit villain, which I thought was like very funny. Which I was like, oh yeah, this is great. I've always hated that asshole. Basically, like, again, people were doing good things with those comics, and then Ken Pender was just like, my OC. But yeah, artwork is wait, what happened to Matt? What happened? Oh, just vaccinated. Provide a contract that hired by Archie. Oh, okay. That he was hired by Archie. Okay. That sucks. That's just a technicality. Right. Okay. It's like who's Matt? I know. It's just I see your icons and your names. And, apparently, people are having a really fun time with the IDW Sonic comics now, and good for them. I would have loved to have some Archie characters show up in video games. So it's kind of like one of those things where you want your kids to have more than you did. Like, I think they like repurposed some Sonic pinball character sprites. They repurposed those to like coincide with the Sat AM game. And that's about all we got. And it was the pink Sally, so you could totally tell it was like before things actually got really running. Yeah, I had to go through my mental Rolodex to like remember. Oh, and the commissioner was nice enough to give me some notes, and they were very succinct. They wanted her hair to be a little bit more on model, which if I draw her again, I'm going to give her that oversized. The oversized bang I thought was like really nice, but the customer is always right in terms of taste, which is the full quote. Oh, just cheeky. Okay, that's nice. But yeah, the Sonic comics were, especially because they had a couple really good artists during their run. First of all, like around issue 25, that's when and the earlier issues were fun. They were kind of like goofy Saturday morning like comic book artist stuff. which were good, and they were done by an artist I can't quite remember, but like would fit in perfectly with stuff like Super Rabbit and or Captain Carrot, pardon me, stuff like that. Or the at the time the Archie Ninja Turtles. But then came Spazaratli. That's his last name, and he unfortunately shortened that to Spaz. So if anyone like mentions Spaz in Sonic comics, that is the start of that person's last name, and he just shortened it, which has become sort of an unfortunate the term of events. People don't use that word anymore. Which I'm of course following the take of Weird Al. Yeah, Scott Shaw. Okay, so you have Scott Shaw, and then you have sort of Spaz, and I'm going to just call him by that name because I don't remember his first one, and he always signed it Spaz. So it's pronounced Dumas. Yeah, but it was one of his covers that I saw that like really caught my eye and got me into the comics, and his artwork inside of it that like it was wonderful. It was the one issue of Sonic the Hedgehog where what was it? Oh, Sonic met his evil twin from another parallel world, and they were running down a corridor of it was underwater, because instead of the floating island, it was the sinking island in the parallel universe. And so you have Sonic and his evil twin just like gunning down this like corridor of like an underground water tunnel. There's this giant whale in the background, foreshadowing things that there wasn't even a Sonic Sonic on the Dreamcast hadn't even come out, so it was like, ooh, is that foreshadowing, or does Sonic and whales just like naturally go together? You have that. You have Axeler, who was another great artist, sort of popped in during the early or mid 2000s with some really great stuff. He had a wonderfully distinct style that was like sort of modeled after Spaz, but also did its own thing. A very detailed artwork. He did a bunch of really great issues. He's still operational, but he clearly has a thing for feet, which is fine by me, because they are really, really nicely drawn feet. I mean, damn. It's still like furry art and stuff. And then of course you have Penders, which is also not Penders. The current artist who's really good. There's he's sort of the one that sort of recontextualized Eggman with that sort of. You've probably seen the meme of the Eggman in shadows, blue eyes, blisteringly white smile, and a sort of a grim Joker-esque like smile. Well, his OCs are like dragons and lizards and stuff. And again, like really great artist. I like really followed his stuff. Like, he probably gave himself a fetish just from the way how good he draws. Kaiser Beams. No, I have not rewatched it because it's the final video coming out this month. Okay, I'll take a look at that. Okay, what is she doing? Hold on. I hope she's not picking those weeds out there because I'll do that later. I just don't have the, Oh, she's feeding the birds. Okay, that's nice. You're still feeding the birds. Although we don't have quail out here. We have pigeons, but they're nice enough. And one of them is marked. One of them has these blue braces on there, so they belongs to someone. Oh, that's good. Republicans face setback in Texas carving out gerrymandering. Let's not call it redistricting. My mouth doesn't want to do it, but my mouth can say gerrymandering. Losing an expected 6 seats. Oh, wow. So it may have backfired on them. The Fleetway Sonic, that was a UK thing, right? I don't know about that. I sort of know about the prototype Deke series, which was very much like weird and kind of British. Sally was more of a lynx cat thing. Then you got a lot of other good art. Oh, one artist was always great. He had more of a cartoonish style. Very more so interested in kind of an Animaniac style thing. And I would have to say that would be the most divisive artist in the. I don't know why it would be divisive, because there were people who were very much in the camp of Shaw, Spaz, and Axler as being sort of like, oh, okay, we want these 3 artists, and everything else was either kind of rough around the edges, but they continued the story. And then this guy, people were like, oh man, I dig this art, or oh man, this guy is trash like everyone else. And that's what was divisive on it. I follow into the camp that I thought his artwork was absolutely brilliant. It was always dense and packed with wonderful detail that he would add himself, and there was a kind of playfulness to it all. And he was also the artist that depicted the slap, as it were, which sort of cemented itself into history. Ian Flynn has done a wonderful job now taking over for basically just about everything, from good art, from writing to the artwork. IDW may be in a or IDW. Wait, is it IDW? No, I'm thinking of the root beer company. Okay, never mind. Was a good slap, though. Animation. Okay, they got my receipt. Right. Wrote for the games. I think you're talking about what was it? What was that one? All Stars? The one where you can make your OC and be best friends with Sonic? There's like one A&W's out here, and it's rough. But I still always want to go out there. It's also by the highway. I'm trying to set up a video. Ba, 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 ba. Ba-da-da-da-da. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. What else did I used to get? I got into Gold Digger for a while, which was Atlantic Press. It's because it was like, you know what? It was like a way more functional. Now that I look back on it, it's kind of a way more functional Ready Player One in terms that they actually bothered to like make some original characters out of his ideas. But you know, some of it was based off things he liked, like video games at the time. Ken Penders? No, that's not Penders. Carrie something. Are these in order, or are these messed up? Why are these out of order? Okay, I don't like it. I got into Gold Digger. I got like that lasted a while. I started getting into Marvel Comics, and then Civil War happened, and I just lost interest because it was just too much. It was like, oh, cool. I like these little stories about teams or these specific heroes, and it's like Civil War. Why every freaking comic ever that comes out? It's like, you dumb assholes. That also cemented my hatred for like Mr. Fantastic, because they needed him to be on Team Iron Man. It was like, oh, that's stupid. Duration type? No, ascending, descending. Yeah, okay, this works. US A&W must be doing something wrong because A&W here is a way better food chain. I'm sure it's doing fine. I'm sure it's all of its money is just coming in through being like the root beer. Like you've got the only like, aside from like just like any sort of store brand root beer that you could find, the only like actual competition I can think of is Mug. Gold Digger is about two treasure hunting sisters. One is like a shorter blonde nerd, and the other one is a giant cheetah, pardon me, because there are werewolves. It was really just like, it's almost like, how would I describe it? Like a D&D campaign that just like didn't end and still hasn't ended, I think. Wait, Millar thought the registration side was right? Well, okay. Yeah, of course he would. I'm just gonna say it. Batman Return is shit, right? I mean, it was probably different for like, at the time, made it nice and special. And I'm having sort of the same feelings with Absolute Batman. It's just like, well, this is something, all right. And in about 20 years, people won't shut up about it, even though they should. No, Mark Miller. Still, I don't care for Batman Returns. But maybe I've just been like, that's been my whole, like, that's sort of the thing that's been like, it's probably what like got me again. I was enjoying comics for a while. I was like, and then Civil War happened. I was like, you know, whatever. This could have been its own story. You didn't have to like taint everything. Well, then Frank Miller needs to do something about his brother. I love doing that. I love having, like... I was going to say, why would he have... Now I'm thinking about it, why would he heavily criticize Reagan? Like, so far as to make him the bad guy in that comic. Or make him just like a shitty... No, I don't want this. I don't know. There's something about Batman Returns that just rubs me the wrong way. And Absolute Batman could just be its own thing. Like, they could have just... it kind of irritates me when they do that. It's like, well, it's so different that you could have just made it your own sort of story. Like Watchmen. Like, if you're going to make something so radical, then just change a few names. But then that doesn't put butts in seats, now does it? No, but I love doing that. I love it, hearing sort of similar last names and saying, well, you need to do like... I like it when artists like go to a place and then do something different. Like even I just mentioned him. I just invoked him with Watchmen. Grumpy old wizard guy. Even grumpy old wizard guy likes to like do other things. I incidentally, at the time everyone was going on and on about Watchmen, and I picked it up and I was like, this movie's not good, and the comic book is way better. And I was like, but it's still not my thing. I'm gonna stick with sort of picking out like interesting one shots. I came across Tom Strong and just Tom Strong. It was Tom Strong and it was ABC Comics, Tom Strong and something Boy Genius, and I was like, oh, this is fun. Because it was, and then incidentally, it was Alan Moore's take on building his own mythology of just like the old superhero comics he grew up with, the fun ones. For those who don't know, Tom Strong and Tom Strange, which are two sort of counterparts, there's not like they're not evil twins to each other. There's one is a somewhat sort of a rugged science superhero, and the other one is a visitor to another planet who has sort of Superman-esque powers in that he has enhanced strength and stuff. And it's just him recreating, and he'll pop around from issue to issue. Like, he'll start at issue 1 and then pop over to issue 50, where it turns out that his longtime love interest in a series that never existed, by the way. So that's why it's 1 and 50. So in in issue 50, it's like, oh, his longtime love interest, who supposedly killed in a ice accident, dealing with this ice villain. Turns out that she was alive, and he rescued her, and the two ended up falling in love because she was unfortunately exposed to the same sort of process that made him who he was, and he had to kind of get over that. And then he basically marries like a female version of Black Panther in his world later on. So I was like, oh, this is cool. So Alan Moore can kind of do both. He can kind of do like here's superheroes, and then here's superheroes. Like he can deconstruct and then take things in weird places. And then he can like dial it back and make a really fun and interesting actual like superhero comic. Batman Returns, the animated movie, is actually pretty decent, but maybe I just have a fondness for Rob Paulsen doing some really the weirdest voice acting of his career. That and the head mutant, who was the father of the sort of the handicapped kid in Malcolm in the Middle, is also a really great voice actor as the leader of the mutants. You know, heavyset black guy may or may not actually wear glasses in real life. I'm not sure. And RoboCop as Batman. That's not bad. The first part was great. Second part gets really loosey-goosey until that final fight. Yeah, I know, but that's him getting sick of his own supply and then making a new drug off on the side. Music. I kind of want some like New York jazz, por favor. And I want it to be authentic. It's no AI bullshit. Nailed it on that little the little pendant he has. Oh yeah, Alan Moore's been a wizard ever since the 80s. Now I just had my headphones. Where are they? Oh, I put them up. I keep losing them because the dogs keep distracting me. Oh. Okay, well, she could do her own thing. Oh, I don't think Mom's date nut candy turned out so hot. No, it's okay. I was gonna say she didn't use a candy thermometer, but she told me that she had everything under control. No, what? What was this about Harry Potter making him an antichrist? What was this? I didn't even hear the whole song. That's perfect. That's exactly what I needed. I'm going to save this. When did that happen? No, I'm talking about yeah, I'm just not a fan of that. And the follow-up comics are like, hello, the art of Mobius. No way. That's awesome. Now you say I like the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, the movie. But I can totally see how like that movie was a huge disappointment and would piss off Alan Moore and just about everyone who was like involved with it. But I still like it for just being campy and weird. It's like the Batman, the 1960s series for me. Like if there was an equivalent between the two. How dare they not make the Invisible Man a serial rapist? In the original comics, he goes to this how what was it, a boarding school for girls? He goes to a boarding school for girls, and then all the girls like think they've been a part of immaculate exception because he, of course, does what I said he does. Again, like that's like, yeah, if you have the same kind of scumbag who would like give, that's something that should have been like in the original. I don't know, maybe it would be too much for the original book. Maybe H.G. Wells didn't want that. Yeah, he can go crazy when he wanted to. Maybe I'm not. I'm also like I like the Killing Joke's fine. Maybe I just don't like it because it's just, again, maybe it's just oversaturation. Like that's the Invisible Man from H.G. Wells, a la Well, I mean, it's Alan Moore. I was trying to think of another artist, like a darker artist. I was thinking, like Lovecraft. No, Lovecraft would have made the Invisible Man some sort of weird Cthulhu creature thing. Man. No, that's not right. Of course he does. Hello, the real crush. Just wait, let's see. That's okay. Damn it. Yeah, this should be fine. And then we go. Wildcraft a creature Christmas. I'm, maybe I have. Maybe I think I may have seen that. I'm not sure. Hey, Wolf. Or Wolgan. Firewolf. Let's see. Throw that back. This right there. Good. How does that work? Ugh. Okay. DaVinci Resolve can be finicky sometimes. Yeah, I know. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Let's see. You okay? Want me to plug it in?
No.
Okay, good. Yes, ma'am. Yes. Thank you. Watch your thing. Okay, good. You good doggies, you good puppers. There we go. Oh, I'll eat a banana. That's what I'm hungry for. I'm hungry for something. Come on. Oh, you scared all the little birds away. Come here. Okay, I gotta figure out a way to make sure that that extends all the way. I'm sorry. I'm thinking of getting another and just sending that over to the. Probably worked on the same thing. Hold on. No data, it says. Yeah, I fed him a treat. Okay. The abysmal. Why? Why did it so bad all of a sudden? Is Steam updating on this other computer? No, well, we're almost done. Yeah, Steven Silver was like everywhere for a while. And I said I have complicated feelings on him as an artist because one, he's a great, fantastic artist on his own. But there, for a while there, I was following him and he would advertise his class. And I've said this a million times before, but he would, I don't exactly know where you would find them, but me saying this, but he would have these classes which were about like how to draw, and I would assume like if the way I would set up a class would be breaking down how to break down a character using different shapes. Every student that came out of his class just ended up drawing like him, including one that was like already like really amazing, like kind of grungy, like really like dramatic style. And by the time he finished the course, I guess it was just kind of toned down a lot and was like, oh, it's not as good as how it started. Yeah, again, fantastic artist, wonderful, does great work on Fairly Odd Parents, did most of the designs for Danny Phantom. Just really like good stuff, but like yeah, I mean Johnny Test was Johnny Test. Well, again, art is subjective, and you can either be the kind of even when you're an artist who says, "Well, let's just try to push the envelope a little bit," you can only judge it by like your own standard of what is good. Which is why I've had the I had a lot of professors who were like, and I had they were like heads of their departments, and what they would. Is it okay, or am I kind of fumbling? Anyway, they were the heads of their departments. What was I going to say? Oh yeah, they were heads of the departments, and the way they would grade their students was they see how they started at the beginning of their class and how they did at the end, and then see if they were actually trying to use different new techniques to see what would to push themselves, and they would basically grade them against themselves. So which is good, but in theory you could have like a bunch of people like passing the class with relatively high scores, even though they weren't exactly ready for maybe a studio job. But then again, they were sort of taught how to they were taught the fundamentals, and they were taught to sort of go and experiment with stuff. And then, but if you have someone like who is, say, someone who does work on shows and is like, this is the way you do it, this is the way it has to be, just you got to get it done and hand it in, because it is sort of a product. You're dealing with like a product philosophy versus an actual artistic philosophy, which is the two opposing forces of all education. See a Cage, that we're almost done. I just need to do a little bit of foliage and her eyeballs. If you want, I believe Folding Ideas goes over a little bit of this stuff while he's discussing how crap a job the Nostalgia Critic did understanding the wall. Which he put into words sort of what I always understood but couldn't quite vocalize. Which again, that's sort of the two dynamic forces. The creator of Johnny Test actually worked on shows like Animaniacs and Freakazoid, which is a little bit like you have all these creators who work on the like really great shows, and they go on to like make their own shows. Like I think it was I forget, someone spun off and made Casper. And it was okay. But again, it was like in the same style as Animaniacs sort of thing. And then there was Taz and can't really bitch about how like Pokemon was suddenly a huge breakout. When everything was sort of the thing again. Wait, just found what? Speaking of Arbor, really found out one of mine is retired. Oh no. Well, good. Good for them. Oh, he lives in Canada. Are you guys going to sacrifice him to the giant elk? But yeah, I'm gonna definitely try to get Familiar Faces back off the ground on a regular schedule again. Let's see. What am I doing? I wish I could have this both running at the same time. Yeah, it's gonna be fine. Well, 25 years, that's not too bad, but that's when he became a professor, right? So being a professor for like, I'm sorry. Yeah, no, art professor. Okay, you know how long it takes to become a professor? Yeah, maybe. Maybe more forgotten Christmas specials. We'll see. That's like my favorite Invincible joke. It's like, no, I'm not a professor. I never taught. Well, they haven't like put ink to paper yet. The real cuss-handed chef monkey show. Man, that's a mouthful. They haven't put pen to paper yet. TRCHCMS. Nice. I will say the one finicky thing that was about this commission is that the commissioner was very specifically wanted a certain set of um, iris pattern. My favorite Peanuts characters, I don't know. I'm not huge into Peanuts. I mean, Lucy's fine for being like a bitch. I was gonna say Netflix and Warner Brothers. Yeah, that seems about the way to go. I mean, Paramount is throwing a huge stink, but they really don't have a leg to stand on other than bitching about it to Trump, who apparently wants CNN to be on his side, even though it's on his side already. So it's like, what's going to happen to CNN when Netflix gets their hand on it? I don't know. Everything is just... Oh wait, no, Peppermint Patty's great. I'm sorry, I forgot all about Peppermint Patty. In fact, I remember my first the first time I saw like a peanut special. I grew up in a weird time with peanut specials because I wasn't always constantly rewatching The Great Pumpkin or A Charlie Brown Christmas. The thing I was constantly rewatching was Flash Beagle and the one special where Peppermint Patty was in the Ice Capades or in an ice dancing thing. So yeah, definitely Peppermint Patty. Flash Beagle. Flash Flash, 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 Beagle. That and Race for Your Life, Charlie Brown, or something. The one where they have the boat. Nice. Yeah, so just like Snoopy and God. Who was it? They literally like went out to like a club even though they shouldn't have been able to. Which was so weird since they did the whole thing of it's Flash Beagle, Charlie Brown. Oh, and him just making up his outfit. Oh yeah, look at that. There's adults. Or teenagers? But yeah, there's definitely adults in Charlie Brown. That looks weird. They look like they belong in a Kathy cartoon. Remember Kathy had like 3 specials? And for a while I thought Snoopy was a girl. I remember that. That's right. I thought Snoopy was a girl because of the mirror thing and the because he does himself up in the mirror, and I've only seen that outfit on girls, the ones with the like the gymnastics headband and the leg warmers. The song was video. Wait. The song has video effects that only appear in the original airing of CBS. What the hell? Oh, you mean just the mixing? Okay. Don't need to say it that way. Also, there was a Snoopy game on the NES, which was a weird, like, different mini games. I think there was one where Butch threw a cactus or threw something. You got to see how long you could like make it go. But he isn't an asshole. Flash Beagle. What's up? Oh, here. Here. Yeah, no, those are yours. I had to get my headphones. Sorry. Ta 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 ta. Okay. See you, Matt. Take care. Yeah, again, we're like almost done. We're like, I've just got to make sure the pattern follows suit. Otherwise, this one turned out really nice. I like the background. In fact, what are we at? Yeah. Uh-huh. 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 Yeah, so again, like real fun. Okay, I think we're done for the day. Yeah, again, thank you all for joining me. And yeah, thanks for just like, indulging me in this little experiment. I have to figure out a way to like boost the signal and make sure that I can do this if I'm going to continue to like do double duty. Ain't that right, little booger? Anyway, see ya. I was talking to the dog, not you guys. I will see you guys later, and thank you, and have a good day. Bye.